There's so many reasons why we procrastinate. And when we dig down and find out what the reasons are, we can actually start moving through our life with a lot more confidence and with a lot less stress.
Hello, and welcome to the Connect podcast. This show is all about helping you connect to your soul's calling so you can take action on it. Because the sweetest success is a blend of discovering your purpose with the inner drive to bring it to life. I'm Sheila, health coach, lifestyle entrepreneur, and mom of two, best known for my online wellness programs, mentoring, and self-love passion. Listen in for inspiring interviews, solo chats, and Q&A sessions that will move you past overwhelm towards what lights you up. Stop accepting good enough and go for your version of great in your health, business, and relationships. Let's get started.
Hi, welcome to this Monday minisode where I share an insight designed to help you live into what lights you up this week. Why are you procrastinating? Have you ever asked yourself that question? This is something that has rung in my ears, in my own mind, from my own mouth so many times over the years. I think we all come by it naturally, especially if we're living into a life of growing in any particular area. I'm going to share with you 3 things that have come up for me over the years, things I've identified, things that are actually kind of recent. The last one I'll share is something that's been recent for me, in the hopes that it may be of service to you as you're looking at a corner of your life where you may be facing some procrastination. So the first thing I'll say is I've noticed sometimes procrastination is tied to self-worth. If you procrastinate starting something, nobody can tell you what they think of what you actually create or venture into. That's why the status quo or staying the same can feel so comfortable, because it's what we're used to and it's what everybody's used to. And eventually, though, that can get uncomfortable being in the same place, especially if other people around you are growing. Or you've begun a project, but you're forever tweaking it and working on it, trying to perfect it so that you won't be called out for any mistakes. This has been the case with me over the years, and I must say I've started to see progress happening. The other week, I did an email and I noticed a typo in it, and it didn't totally spin me out. It actually happened to have a higher engagement rate, which was really interesting. Now, I'm wondering if it was because I was actually willing to show up, not trying to be perfect in that email. Who knows? The important thing is the message that I was sending got across. Now, this is not an invitation to be careless, but knowing that nothing's ever going to be perfect, you can always tweak and improve over time. And this podcast actually is a great example of just doing it. I began recording it in my son's closet because it was the quietest place in the house at the time. And I had yet to invest in a quality microphone. And you know what? it was not a walk-in closet. It's just like a bifold closet. And I put my laptop on the shelf and I had the clothing hanging around. So it was kind of a nice, cushiony sound. It worked out great. And I had to laugh, though. I thought, okay, I'm just going to do this. It sounds good. That's all I care about. I also had to re-record pieces of the intro and outro because the original name of the podcast that I was using was already in use by someone else. And my release date was coming up fast. And I just wanted to record it and get it done. I figured that I'd fix it later. So I kind of spliced some things together. And you know what? It's been over 2 years. And I still have the same intro and outro. I thought, I'll go back and do it at some point. It never happened. And it's been fine. I'm going to be doing a rebrand that will include some new music and another intro and outro. And I've not been in any rush because it turns out that thousands of people around the world listen to this podcast, and I'm truly just getting started, putting more focus onto it. So it all works out. So consider this permission to take messy action and trust your intuition to guide you. The second thing I'm thinking you may be procrastinating due to is you're doing something out of duty and not desire. I invite you to get quiet and get real with yourself. This thing that you're doing or needing to do, is it really for you? Or is it for someone else? Now, obviously, there are things we all need to do, we may procrastinate on, that don't fall into our zone of genius when we're starting out. And there may be things we absolutely have to do, and we're the only ones who can do it. We all experience that. But it is still something that perhaps it has an end date, Is it something you'll be committing to for the long term? Really check in with yourself on that, because if it's a long-term thing and you're totally procrastinating because it's not something for you, maybe you need to be thinking about what different thing you need to be doing instead. And if what you're putting off doing is like fitness or some kind of wellness ritual, again, consider if the benefit outweighs the cost of you doing the thing. Sometimes it's just about getting used to a new ritual. How much do you want the result? If you know that this is going to benefit you long term, get some guidance, go into an inquiry if there's a different way that you can implement the ritual. Some questions that can help you here are, is there a different type of healthy food that you can integrate? Is there a different form of exercise that you'll actually do? Is there a different time of day you can do the exercise or the ritual? What other ways can you adjust your schedule so it feels more aligned and pleasurable, or at the very least, you lessen the barrier of yourself doing the thing? For example, maybe you partner up with someone, you have a check-in call, you get a coach, you use an app, you have amazing music playing, you elevate the ambiance. You make sure you're rested so you have a more open and receptive energy to doing the ritual. Try those things out and see how it goes. The last reason I'm going to share today that has come to my attention about procrastination is something I've been playing with over the last year. My mentor guided me through this, and it is, what is your relationship with endings? That really opened me up, because my relationship with endings is I really enjoy the process of creating and connecting. In human design, I'm a manifesting generator. And I love new things and I love exploring. And sometimes I just don't want that goodness to end. And I realize that through much of my life, I've had a fear that more good ideas won't come. Like, oh no, they're all going to dry up. And this may come from other losses in my life. If you've listened to some of my recent episodes, you'll know that I've experienced a lot of human loss in my life, and it's guided how I show up in my relationships. It's become a big reason why I enjoy the simple things and feel a deep sense of purpose each day living my life as well. And on another level, endings have traditionally been scary to me. Is there actually more joy to experience, or have I reached my limit? Wild, right? So with procrastination, will there be any more good ideas, or will I stagnate? It has been a real question for me. And I realize it's been one that's been under the surface. It's not one I've consciously been asking myself, but as I look back, that's where it is. Until I thought of my process this way, I would struggle completing things. And what I found is that the sooner I can finish a project, often while it's in completion stage, now another idea is being divinely downloaded to me. This has been happening so much in the last year, and it makes me wonder if my awareness about this piece of endings, if it's really shifted something for me. I've simply got too much proof that the ideas and opportunities are limitless. And the more I focus to complete and share what I've created, the more joy I find, the more connection and the more transformation in the lives of others is possible. An area where this is happening big time for me right now is with my new wellness app. I am so excited to share it with you as it's reaching the launch phase. The sooner I complete it, the sooner you and others get to benefit from it. The years of my experience and lived expertise made available to guide you into your personalized version of vibrant well-being. So make sure you're on the list to hear about the details of when it releases. There's a link in the show notes to access that. There are so many other reasons why you may be procrastinating, but start looking at these 3 and seeing if they're a match for you. And as you go about your week, see how you can think and move a little bit differently. Maybe some of the stories I've shared will remind you of what's possible to acknowledge the procrastination for what it is, and then move through it with grace on yourself. If you found this helpful, share this episode with a friend, tag it in your stories, and leave a review. This helps spread the word about this show to help others connect more deeply with themselves and their purpose as they seek to live the life they most desire. Thanks so much for listening, and I'm going to see you on another episode. Big blessings.
Thank you so much for being here with me on the Connect podcast. If you like this episode, please share it with someone you think would enjoy it. Also, if you head over to iTunes to leave a review, I'd be so grateful. Let us know what your favorite parts were and what you'd like to hear more of. It will help us have a greater impact, elevating many more people to grow and succeed together. See you next time.